Welcome to the Unwind podcast with Caitlin, your inside look on the Unwind series by Neal, Shusterman, with special guest Lisa Robinson. Let's get started with a quick summary of the book. We start our story in the small town of Akron, Ohio, with a troubled teen named Connor. He is an unwind, which means his parents signed a form to have him, unwound, meaning they take apart his whole body and give the parts to other people for medical use. Most unwinds are unwound because they are considered unfit for society. Connor then runs away and teams up with Risa, another unwind. Risa and Connor then kidnap a thief named Lev, who is on the way to a harvest factory. A thief is a person who willingly goes in for unwinding, mostly due to religion. Then the three find their way to a camp that helps protect them. And the rest, you'll just have to read. Now let's ask our guests some questions.
Sounds great, Caitlin.
Okay, first question. How did you find the Unwind series?
My daughter recommended it to me after reading it herself and said that it sounded like something I would enjoy. I definitely have gotten into the series more as it progressed, though, and I feel I found my own love for it.
Okay, second question. Who is your favorite character in the book?
My favorite character is definitely Lev. I feel that he showed the most character development through the book because he went from a naive teeth to a strong and courageous leader who ended up saving thousands of kids' lives. He also has the most interesting point of view to read from. He's the youngest, and you can really see the moral dilemmas he's faced with.
I have to say, I think Lev is one of my favorite characters too, but my favorite character is definitely Risa, who is kind of like a Wonder Woman in this book. She definitely kicks butt.
I have to agree with you on that one. Risa is definitely a good role model.
Okay, last question, Lisa. So what is a good reason to pick up the book?
Man, Caitlin, tough question. I definitely think one of the best reasons to pick up this book is its fast-paced, climactic plot, and you just fall in love with the characters. You really get into the morals of this book, and it makes you think what would happen if unwinding was actually a thing and not science fiction.
Wow, that's a great response. Okay, let's move on. You are in the medical field, correct?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. What are your thoughts on unwinding, and do you feel that it would be probable in the real world? And what do you think about the moral values?
I've given it a lot of thought, and although I do work in the medical field, I truly personally believe that it is not moral, and I disagree with the concept.
Wow, thanks for the insight, Lisa. I completely agree, though technically we have this through organ donating, which is a much more moral way to go than unwinding teens and adults. Now we're going to read our favorite quotes from the book. My quote is, Connor wonders how he can call the place he lives home when he is about to be evicted, not just from the place he sleeps, but from the hearts of those who are supposed to love him. This one means a lot to me because all kids can feel unwanted at some points, and this strikes home on this feeling. This is said by Connor, and I feel like it represents a large theme of the story.
My quote is, what do you mean by change? Dying is a little bit more than change. This is important to the book because it's said by Lev's brother, who does not want to see his brother taken apart and wants him to stay in the world, which shows again the moral conflict in this book.
Do you have any questions for me?
What did you think of Lev's decision not to blow himself up?
Wow, that's a tough one. I feel like it was a good decision because we all feel low at some points, but choosing not to take that route really helped him. And later on in the series, I know he's going to do great things.
Second question, what do you think of Connor and Risa's relationship? Will it last?
I definitely think they're a cute couple, and they're fun to read about. Kind of like Bonnie and Clyde. But I know they'll go through their struggles, so who knows? Only Neal knows what that's going to happen.
Final question, how did you feel when Roland was getting unwind?
Well, he definitely wasn't one of my favorite characters, but it also showed the horrifying insight on what happens. That lady with the yellow face mask, as she talked to him about his life as he was getting unwound, was scary. And then when it was talking about how he was still here and then it slowly faded away, it just chilled you. Thinking about, what if that was real? What if that happened to you?
Okay, actually I have one more question for you. What do you think is a major theme of this book?
Well, I definitely think it's a book on morals, that word we've been saying a lot today. And it makes you think about how life would be like if unwinding was a thing. And I really feel it's just a book of thought. And though it's science fiction, it makes you ponder. Okay, and ending on that response, Thank you for joining us, and thank you for being on our show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, good night, and have a great evening.